Everyone, please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we begin tonight, I just want to mention that Dr. Kramer and Mr. Farfalia have been excused from tonight's meeting. Please join me in a moment of silence for the following. Brett Chafee, a student of the North Syracuse Central School District, Daniel Minahan, a graduate of the North Syracuse Central School District, and Kenneth Gosseling, a graduate of the North Syracuse Central School District. Thank you. We have two presentations tonight. The first one is a proclamation. So I'm going to read this and then we're going to recognize everybody out in the audience. Throughout history, teachers, school nurses, speech therapists, teaching assistants, transportation personnel, and teacher aides have had an impact on the district's students and community. They work for the well-being, welfare, and future of our children. This awesome responsibility is accepted with commitment, dedication, and even love. Because of the complexity and diversity of their role, they must be flexible, resourceful, positive, and patient. The teachers, school nurses, speech therapists, teaching assistants, transportation personnel, and teacher aides of the North Syracuse Central School District are professionals of the highest caliber who have dedicated themselves to the ideals of their profession. Students, parents, administrators, and community members recognize, applaud, and appreciate their efforts to ensure students receive a quality education. To honor the teachers, school nurses, teaching assistants, transportation personnel, and teacher aides of the North Syracuse Central School District and their accomplishments and efforts on behalf of our community's most valuable resource, our children, I, Michael Maurizio, Vice President of the Board of Education of the North Syracuse Central School District, on behalf of the board, express our deepest gratitude and hereby declare May 3rd, 2022 as Teacher Appreciation Day, May 4th, 2022 as School Nurse Appreciation Day, May 5th, 2022 as Speech Therapist Appreciation Day, May 6th, 2022 is Transportation Personnel Appreciation Day, May 11th, 2022 is Teaching Assistant Appreciation Day, and May 18th, 2022 as Teacher Aide Appreciation Day. The recommended board action is to approve those dates to be celebrated with appropriate educational activities. Do I have a motion? Mr. Crabtree, Ms. Scanlon, all those in favor? Passed.
What we'd like to do is to recognize the different groups and have them come on up and introduce who they are and their location. And I know Carol Gaynor, you're here representing the Teachers Association. And what we'll do, we'll start off with teachers that are here. I'm going to have you stand up and come forward, and then you're going to introduce who you are and what school you're in. So those teachers, if they can come forward.
I'd like to thank the board on behalf of the NSCA for this recognition. If you
Kathy Canese, Allen Road, kindergarten.
Melissa LaGuardia, kindergarten, Allen Road. Jen Jerome, kindergarten, Allen Road.
Catherine Graham, science, CNS High School.
Jackie Heyman, special ed, CNS High School.
Thank you. The next group that we're going to call up is our school nurses. So those school nurses that are here, please step forward.
Hi, I'm Peg Miller. I am the nursing supervisor for the district. I'm Jody Barnes. I'm the nurse for the North Syracuse Junior High School.
Linda Ryan, an LPN for Main Street School.
Gail Vanette, the nurse at the early education program.
Nan Pacino at Roxborough Road Middle School.
Barb Flinsky, Smith Road Elementary.
Karen Sherry, Allen Road.
Kate Knoll, Roxborough Road Elementary. June Chamberlain, Gillette Road.
Heidi Agner, LPN, Roxborough Elementary.
Now for our next group, the speech therapists, if you could please come forward, those speech therapists that are here.
Again, if you could give your name and what school.
Kelly Glasshauser, Gillette Road. Julia Walker, Smith Road.
Carol Guido, Smith Road.
Jill Trubia, early ed program.
Amy Stevens, Cicero Elementary. Colleen Butler, Cicero Elementary.
Noelle Raymond, North Syracuse Junior High.
Tracy Fleming, Gillette Road Middle School.
Okay, at this time, not sure, is anyone here from transportation? Okay. Okay. Then Mindy Bristol, would you like to come forward for the teaching assistants? Have any other teaching assistants here?
Yes, Renee Merritt.
Okay, wonderful.
I'm Mindy Bristol, President of the Teaching Assistants Association.
I'm Renee Merritt, Vice President of the Teaching Assistant Association.
Thank you.
And our teacher aides, please come forward. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Linda Weber. I'm at the North Syracuse Junior High, and I am president of the teacher aid unit.
Thank you. Again, let's give everyone a round of applause.
I know we only get to do this once a year, but on behalf of the board, we do recognize and appreciate all of you every day. So again, thank you for everything that you do for our kids. Our next presentation we have is the Human Rights Club's presentation. So if you folks would like to come up.
Give them a microphone.
I don't really want to get on the camera. I just want to introduce my awesome students that are here to represent the Human Rights Club that we have just started this year at CNS High School. Catherine Graham is my co-chair. Eve Campitello, Madeline Radowski, and Justice Tinker. And they're going to be presenting this to you guys. They're large and in charge. Okay, hello, everybody. So we're here to present the Human Rights Club for the CNS High School. We're establishing this. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, so I'm just going to read the mission statement off of what I have here and what our purpose is going to be as the Human Rights Club. So, purpose. Our mission as a Student Human Rights Club is to assure that implementation of both civil and human rights policy within the CNS community. Through advocating for social justice issues while educating the staff and students, we will establish a more inclusive environment. We believe injustice and oppression in our school directly impacts the entire school community. So this is our intro. This is the overview of what we're presenting today. This will have monthly awareness campaigns for racial minorities, religious minorities in the school that feel like they're either misrepresented or not represented at all. We'll be having Culture Day. This should be in partnered with UMOJA, which is the African-American club where African-American students can get together and celebrate their culture and heritage. We are interested in planting sunflowers for solidarity with Ukraine in the front of the school. We're going to be focusing a lot on humanism, and we'll collaborate with other clubs such as the GSA, UMOJA, and even the Yearbook Club if we can.
We would like to do monthly awareness campaigns. This month, we're working on Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. We're working on getting a bulletin board together filled with cultural snacks, clothing, in ways that the students of this racial minority might be misrepresented in the media. We're also hoping to do a mental health awareness event with the candlelight event on the football field at CNS. We would also like to put other groups on the bulletin board, such as African Americans, Pride Month, and Latino Hispanic Heritage Month. We would also want to do a culture day where we could just celebrate other cultures within the school, where students could come in and wear their traditional clothing. We would also like to dedicate a time for it, maybe after school, where we could just come together, eat food, and show off all the different cultures within our school.
So one of our ideas is planting sunflowers for solidarity with Ukraine. So it would provide a beautiful landscape feature for the school, possibly being a good welcoming to future incoming students. It also lead to a future garden and school compost system and would add beautiful landscape once again. So humanism is a big idea that we want to feature in our group, and we would have a presentation from guest speaker Mrs. Dapson to the club about humanism. And then we'd like to do something in the morning announcements in June about humanism in honor of World Humanist Day on the 21st of June, and then obviously elaborate humanist ideas into the club. So potential club collaborations, the first one would be the GSA club at the high school for Pride Month.
We would collaborate with UMOJA for Black History Month.
We would also get together with the Yearbook Club to maybe just put a picture of our club in there and put some cultural pages in the yearbook. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Did anyone on the board have any questions or comments?
Oh, I have a comment. See, they're all laughing. They know me. I think this was a tremendous presentation. The other day, I had to go out of town, so I went up to the high school early Saturday morning for the Festival of Arts and gave myself a tour. You students and Mrs. Sullivan as the leader have really made that high school a really neat place. There's rainbows and there's quotation marks. I can't keep up with all the quotation marks throughout the building. What a positive atmosphere you have developed at the high school. You should be congratulated as the club and administration and teachers. Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have comments from the audience. We have one speaker tonight. So Cassidy, if you'd like to come forward. Yeah, and then just push the button on the mic to turn it on.
My name is Cassidy Swoboda, and I'm here to talk about suicide prevention in our schools. I'd like to start by reading a poem I wrote with my English teacher that gives a perspective of a student and their feelings about the situation. It's almost as if the nights I've cried, the days I spent wishing I wasn't here didn't exist. It's almost as if you disregard my feelings, my thoughts, and the scars on my wrists. It's almost as if you haven't lost 3 students in the past 3 years. Screw your silence, I will persist. It's almost as if you're hiding your failures, you're running from accountability. You might as well just say, I give up, the stigma wins. I give up, the stigma wins. I give up, the stigma. Hold it right there. A moment of silence, yeah, that's the fix, or the flag at half staff where most people won't even notice. Let's send a parent email but never mention it to our kids. Why don't we tiptoe around the problem? Maybe they'll all forget, and everything will be okay. Everything will be okay, and everything will be okay. No, I call bullshit. It's almost as if your Board of Education president meant nothing, but you've lost 3 more kids. It's almost as if while your students suffer, in plain sight, you turn your head and pretend it doesn't subsist. It's almost as if we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, nothing has changed. Where's the advocacy? Your support is non-existent. It's almost as if you're shunning the word, you're burying the problem. Didn't you say, come to us when the sadness hits? But I remember my counselor saying, please make an appointment. Wait a minute. When we asked to get the foundation involved, you responded with more posters, more hotlines. But hey, what's the difference? What more will it take? 3 attempts in 3 weeks, that's enough for me. I'll get down on my knees and beg, please fight for me. For your students, teachers, and the parents, please, we deserve more than for you to simply ignore this disease. Today, I have the privilege of sitting here in front of you presenting my concerns regarding suicide prevention, or the lack thereof, in our district. But it's unfortunate who doesn't have the ability to do the same. Most recently, a junior who was a magnificent musician, a beautiful girl who would have graduated last year, a student who was dedicated to helping the community who would now be a senior, and 4 years ago, a father, teacher, and respected board member. Our district owes it to these 4 lives and the students and teachers who are currently struggling with their own mental health to make a difference and do better. 2 weeks ago, I was disappointed with the reaction of CNS to a suicide in the community. There was no further conversation or awareness following the death, so I conducted a brief survey on my social medias for CNS students to share their own thoughts and experiences. The responses were heartbreaking. 57% of students who took the survey have struggled with suicidal thoughts, while 82% know someone who struggles. An overwhelming amount of students commented on how they believe school and its environment worsened these thoughts. 70% of students who took the survey felt as though NSCSD had failed to support them with the adequate resources for their mental health. One argued, and I quote, if they had provided adequate resources to students, we wouldn't be complaining about this problem. 28% of students said they didn't know how to take action when someone tells them they're feeling suicidal, and 23% of students said they weren't confident in observing or knowing the signs of suicide, which should be extremely alarming. The survey responses are attached in your packet. I don't have time to go through the entirety of the survey, but there are valuable responses worth reading. To further explore the issue, I asked teachers how they felt about the resources provided in our schools. I asked a series of questions beginning with required trainings. One teacher commented on how she was just an English teacher, and she felt that she didn't have the responsibility or ability to help a student who may be suffering. Many teachers felt that CNS plays a role in the stigma. One teacher said, they seem to be doing the bare minimum, following a protocol maybe. That makes me wonder, does the protocol need to be changed? I also asked if teachers believed that the school was providing students with enough resources for their mental health. Not a single one believed it was adequate. A health teacher suggested, we need to teach coping skills. An elementary health teacher would be amazing to teach students how to take care of themselves from a young age, where the problems that lead to suicide begin. If you expected me to come up here with a perfect solution, I'm sorry to disappoint. I don't have all the answers, but I believe that the resources are there. I see them. I have looked into the funding going into this area, and I'm aware of the new positions and new help in our schools. But suicide will never go away if we can't talk about it. Our principals need to stimulate conversation in their schools. Teachers need to facilitate discussions in the classrooms. And because students only spend a fraction of their lives at school, we need to improve outreach and education to parents and families. The last question of my survey asked students for additional thoughts, and one said, I attempted on Monday the 4th. 2 weeks later, a friend also made an attempt. A few hours after that, we learned of Brett's passing. How many students have to die or nearly die before enough is enough?
Thank you, Cassidy. Okay, moving on to our Board of Education committee reports. Ms. Scanlon.
Sorry, it's difficult. Just our policy committee is meeting this week, Thursday, May 5th at 5 p.m. via Zoom. This is a change. We were going to meet on the 10th, but I will be out of town, so we changed it to the 5th.
Mr. Crabtree.
Legislative Committee will be this Wednesday, May 4th, from 5 to 6. We will have a presentation from Jason Clark on technology. The committee asked for that. We'll be talking about publicity for the school vote on May 17th. And I will be giving a challenge to the committee. I'm sure Mr. Bowles will be right up there with the challenge. Just want to say that I had a chance to meet the governor on Sunday, a week ago Sunday, at a John Mannion event. I personally thanked her for her support of education. It's great to have a governor that cares about students and staff members. And unfortunately, I found out that a court, I believe this Court of Appeals, the highest court of New York, has now said that they have to change the boundaries. So we will be having another primary. I told Mr. Bowles on New Teacher Orientation Day, sorry, Phil, on August 23rd in this area. That's it.
You have anything from OCM?
Okay, here we go. Back to back. Again, I want to thank each of you for voting at our last meeting, to have me represent you for 3 more years at OCM BOCES. The vote at all the school districts, as you know, all 23 school districts had a vote. It was a unanimous vote. Casanova decided not to vote. I don't know why. And thank you for that. And thank you for the administration budget. A few things that came up with BOCES the last month is there's a Career Technical Advisory Committee, and we spoke about, and this is a group of businesses and educational institutions in central New York and into Cortland. And we're talking about male and female stereotype careers. Like, why don't women want to do welding? Why don't men want to be cosmetologists? We had a young man, he loved it. He said, I'm the only boy in the class, and I got to be in class with others. And he now has 3 barbershops throughout central New York, and he's just done well. So we're looking at that. What I found out while I was there, Dan, that many members of our committee graduated from our high school or live in our community. It's like North Syracuse. Culinary students cook 3 entrees. It's the first time I know Mary and I went over one time for an entree, and they prepared a salad and dessert. But on that committee is an HR, Tracy Large Equipment, and she is a taxpayer in our district. Mr. Bannock, young man, went through our schools, and he's big into the leadership program in Central New York. And then a student of mine, Jill left, right? Jill was in my 2nd grade class in the 70s, and Ray, who is the leader of the automobile tech at Morrisville. So it was really great to see North Syracuse people and former students. The next day I attended at the state fair, the Skills USA. These are OCM BOCES students and technical students from all over New York State. They take over the horticulture building, Center of Progress, dairy building, science building. So there's thousands of students are there. Some doing facial, some doing nails, some making cakes, some making sales. It was a great thing, and to see all our BOCES administrators there. And finally, I went to Cortland because we have districts in Cortland that I have to represent. And there was a priest there. He graduated from 1974 from North Syracuse. So we have a lot of people when I go to these events that are proud that they went to our school district, Dan. And I know we're going to make even more people prouder. Thank you.
Okay. First, I want to thank the Human Rights Committee for speaking to us. It was a wonderful presentation. And again, trying to make change in our schools is what it's all about. So I thank them for coming forward. I also want to thank Cassidy for speaking to us. And it's important for us to listen to student voice so that we can make adequate adjustments and improve what we currently do as far as suicide awareness. So again, the more we listen to our students and our staff, the more that we can improve things along the way. I do want to say I had the day of my life this Saturday at the Festival of the Arts. It has been a long time coming, several years, and it just felt good again. And student artwork and staff was in the building, and it was just a good thing to see. So that was a wonderful day this Saturday. And there were all kinds of events. There were girls lacrosse at the field at the same time. It looks like our girls lost to South Jefferson on Saturday, but earlier in the week they had beat West Jenny. Then made my way over to softball, and softball had a doubleheader. They ended up losing to Victor, but they beat West Jenny on Saturday, so that went well. And talking to Mr. Bednarski, our baseball team, they had beaten Rome early in the week, and I think the name Logan Karowski had 2 home runs in that game, and like Sean Lawler had a home run. And I want to remind people that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So that is going on. So it was a busy time these last few weeks. And as Mrs. Sullivan has reminded me, is at the high school and junior high, it's just speeding up from there. There was a lot of events with senior ball and the picnic and many different things. So please make sure that if you have the opportunity that you visit some of the things that are going on. Thank you.
Just moving on to Board of Education comments, I just want to share that this past Friday, myself, I know Mary was there, I saw Mark and Jill, were able to go to the junior or the high school talent show that was hosted at the junior high this year. As always, with all of our performances at the high school and the junior high and our middle schools, I was blown away with the talent that our students have, and the production that they were able to put on in such a short amount of time was really something that we should be proud of. So I just want to congratulate everyone who was involved with that. Anyone else have any comments?
The event that I went to was back on April 28th. No, sorry. Got so many of them here. The 23rd, our softball team hosted ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Our baseball team played at the NBT Bank, but CNS, RFA, Phoenix, Bishop Ludden, Baldwinsville, Homer, Jordan Elbridge, Fayette Malleus, Tully, Fabius Pompey, Ondog, Lafayette, and Pulaski all came from 10 o'clock in the morning to 4 or 5 at night. So our fields were used. But the best part was I stood out in left field, and the young lady, Nessie, hit a home run over my head. So the softball team wants me to stand out. Dan, they're going to probably have you stand out there because last year I stood out there and they had a home run too. So it was a great event to raise money for a disease that is a horrible disease, as many diseases are. But to see our high school step up to the plate, Jamie, and do that was phenomenal.
If I could, I just have to take a moment because I know many of us were moved to tears. Because I can't even speak right now. Ms. Savoda, thank you so much. You should be very proud of yourself. That took a lot of strength. Thank you so much for talking to us, and we are doing everything we can. If you have any ideas on what we could do, please let us know. But you should be very proud of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Routine action items. Consideration of approval of the board minutes from the regular Board of Education meeting on April 18th. Do I have a motion? Mary, Xavier, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. I'd like the group B, C, and D, the consideration of classification and placement students together. Can I have a motion to take B, C, and D together? Terry, Mark, all those in favor? Unanimous. And we have a contract award tonight for some fencing repair. Do I have a motion to approve the purchase order to Lysander Construction for the lowest responsible bidder for these repairs? Mary, Terry, all those in favor? That's unanimous. Discussion action items. We have a amendment to the 2021-22 district calendar. Dan, I don't know if you want to comment on that.
Thank you. So as people know, we have three remaining snow days. Per the contract, we can use one of those snow days to extend the Memorial Day vacation, which that will be the Friday before Memorial Day, and the board acted on that last board meeting. But we had applied for a waiver during this time of COVID, and we were approved by the state as far as the instructional minutes. So with the 2 remaining snow days, we are presenting to the board for approval to make the last full day for students to be June 21st. And we would be using the other 2 days for some professional development opportunities that we have not been able to utilize so far this year. Just on the calendar, K through 12, their last day will be the 21st, other than Regent. But Main Street on the 22nd would have a half day on the 22nd. But no other students would be coming other than Main Street on the 22nd.
And a second, Xavier, all those in favor?
I just want to make a comment on that because Dan, you have got to be superintendent of the year. As a teacher of 36 years, you know, I told you this, I never had full week of half days. So we approved that and now they're getting time off. My only concern is, especially elementary teachers do need some time at the end of the year. So I like the word you said, some of the time will be used for professional development because teachers will still need some time to, especially elementary. And I don't want to say anything about 7 through 12, but being a former elementary teacher, it's they appreciate you, not him, but just maybe a little bit of professional development. Thank you.
All those in favor? That's unanimous. Next, we have some updated contracts with our universal pre-K providers. So Learn as You Grow Early Education Centers, Northminster, North Syracuse Early Education Program, and the YMCA of Central New York. Don, do you have any comments on this? Or are they just renewals?
No, this is just the annual contract with each of the providers.
Any questions? Can I have a motion for this? Mark, Mary, all those in favor? That's unanimous. Next, we have a recommendation to abolish a 1.0 FTE Typist 2 to create a school secretary 1 at the North Syracuse Early Education Program. Do I have any questions on this? Okay, can I have a motion? Mary, Terry, all those in favor? That's unanimous. We have some non-marketable surplus tonight. I think they were just some file cabinets. Can I have a motion to accept, to declare the non-marketable equipment and dispose? Matt, Xavier, all those in favor? That's unanimous. Next item is to amend the start time of the June 6th, 2022 board meeting from 6 to 7. We have our CTE graduates that attend BOCES graduating at the junior high school next door. So this will give us an opportunity to go and see some of our students graduate from that program and then come over here and have our board meeting. So glad we're able to accommodate that. Do I have a motion? to make that change? Mary, Terry, all those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you. And we do have a retirement to announce tonight. Thomas Galvin, a maintenance worker 2, is retiring with 19 years of service. So we wish him a long, happy, and healthy retirement and thank him for his service to the district. Next, we have personnel, instructional personnel report A. Do I have a motion to accept those as presented? Mark, Terry, all those in favor? Oh, you have a,
Instructional?
yes.
Yeah. No, Mr. Krebs, you can't talk all day. So he makes up for it at night. There are 40 people up for tenure, which is an amazing feat. These teachers have worked 4 years to professionally get better each year. And I want to thank the PAR committee. I mean, that is one of the best committees that we have in the state of New York to help teachers and have mentors and so forth. And I want to thank all the administrators, because I read every one of them, believe me, all the reports that you have done for these teachers and support these teachers. So congratulations to anybody in the audience that is up for tenure. You should be very proud. I think all of us, the teachers that have been here a while, remember that special day. Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you. Personnel report B, personnel staff. Do we have any comments before we take a motion on that? Can I have a motion to approve those as submitted? Xavier, Mark, all those in favor? That's unanimous. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to move into executive session for the purpose of reviewing the employment records of 3 individuals with no action to follow and to review 1 legal matter with no action to follow. Can I have a second for that? Mary, all those in favor? That's unanimous. And lastly, a meeting adjournment. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Mark, Xavier, all those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you, everybody.